Hello student, this is Pallab Darbari, your host, and you are watching Pallab Darbari classes. In this video, we will discuss the sixth chapter of Business Studies class 12th, that is staffing. Let us see the topic that we will discuss in this video. In this video, we will discuss selection and training. Let us see the meaning of the selection. Selection is the process of choosing among the candidates from within the organization or from outside. The most suitable person for the current position or for the future position is selected. So what is selection? Selection is the process of choosing the best person from the people who have applied in the organization. Let us see and discuss the selection process. Selection process consists of 8 steps. The first is screening. Under the screening, the person will come to know whether the person is eligible for the post or not. The second is test. The person who qualifies the screening will be called for the test to find out the overall personality of the candidate. The person who qualified the test will be called for the detailed interview between the manager and the candidates. So under the personal interview, a detailed interview or two-way communication will be held between the manager and the candidate. The person who qualifies the personal interview will be called for the background check. Whatever the information or the document he has submitted should be thoroughly checked to find out the authenticity of the information delivered by him. After that, the panel will decide whether the person should be selected or not. After that, in most of the organizations, they ask the candidate to submit the medical report to find out whether the person is medically fit or not. After the medical examination, the job offer will be given to the candidate. Under the job offer, the terms and conditions of the job should be intimated, should be mentioned. The person who the person who is agree with all the terms and conditions should put the initial on it, should sign the contract with the company, and from that day of signing the contract, from the day of signing the contract, he becomes the employee of the organization. Let us discuss all the selection process in detail. The first is screening. As a first step, candidates who do not fulfill the basic criteria and qualification required for the job are eliminated through a preliminary screening or primary interview. The person who qualifies the screening will be called for the test. Let us see what is being written over here. The next step is to further judge the candidate on different criteria. Organization conduct various tests such as intelligence test, aptitude test, personality test, trait test, and interest test, so that the appropriate and the best candidate should be selected for the organization. The person who qualifies the test should be called for the personal interview. A personal interview involves a direct conversation between the candidate and the manager. An in-depth conversation is conducted with the candidate to judge the individual's overall suitability for the job position. After that, there is a background check. The information given by the candidate is verified by asking for a reference from person known to the candidate and from previous employers. These references act as a source of additional information about the candidate. After that, there is a selection decision. The step involves the final selection by choosing the appropriate candidates by the manager of the departments whereby the vacancies exist. After that, there is a medical examination. Some organizations conduct medical examinations to check the health of the candidates. The job offer is given to them only after they are declared fit by a medical practice. After that, the job offer is there. A job offer refers to the appointment letter issued by an organization confirming that the individual has been selected. After that, employment contract is there. Finally, at the completion of the selection process, the selected candidate is given the employment contract. which mention the terms and conditions of the employment. The new employee is also filled in various forms such as an attestation form, which can be used by the organization for the future reference. Let us discuss the selection test. There are 5 selection tests. The first one is the intelligent test. Intelligent test means to judge whether the person can take the decision or not. Aptitude test. Aptitude test is to find out how quickly the person can take the decision. Personality test is to find out the positive and the negative attitude of the person. Trait test is to find out the existing knowledge the person is having relating to the job position. Interest test is to find out whether the person is having the natural interest for the position or not. Let us discuss all the selection tests in detail. The first one is intelligent test. It is to judge the intelligence quotients of a candidate. It is a test to find out whether the candidate can take the decision or not. Aptitude test is to examine the potential to develop a new skill. Personality test is to test the overall personality of the individual to find out whether the person is short-tempered, whether the person is positive or negative, and so on. The next is trait test. It is to measure and analyze the existing skill of the candidate. This tells whether the person is having the required knowledge needed for the job or not. The next and the last one is the interest test. This is the test to find out the particular interest of the individual. If the person is having the particular interest for the position, then the person will dedicatedly do the work, otherwise not. So these tests are framed so that the appropriate and the best candidate should be selected in the organization. Let us discuss the meaning of training. Training refers to the process of enhancing the skill and competence of an employee that are required to perform a specific job. Listen, the focus of the training is to develop just the right skill required for the performing a particular task, and therefore the training is always job oriented. When I say training is job oriented, what it means? It means that through the training, every if and but, every point relating to the operation of the work is being intimated to the employees, so that all the employees should do the work with all his heart and soul, with all the dedication they can do the work. Let us see the benefits of the training. Firstly, see the benefits from the organization point of view. First is wastage. I mean, if the training is being given to the employees, they can do the work with the minimum wastage. Second benefit is high profit. I mean, he can do the work with all his heart and soul. The wastage will be minimized. The manufacturing cost will be very low, because of which the margin of the profit increases. Second is improved managerial efficiency. I mean, with the training, the employee can handle the work with proficiently. In short, with the training, we can develop a future manager. The next is reduced absenteeism. With the training, the person is dedicated. The person becomes motivated to do the work with all his heart and soul, so the percentage of the absenteeism fall down. Let us see the benefits in detail to the organization. The first is less wastage. As the training involves systematic learning of tasks, it helps reduce wastage of time and money, thereby ensures the optimum utilization, means the maximum utilization of the resources. Second is higher profit. Training enhances the productivity and efficiency of the employees, thereby raises the profit of the company. Second one is improves managerial efficiency. Training prepares the employees to face new challenges and enables them to respond to various situations effectively. Thus, training helps an organization prepares the future manager. The next is reduce absenteeism. Effective training serves to boost the morale of the employees and thereby reduce the rate of absenteeism and the employees turnover. Employees turnover means leaving the organization. Let us see the benefits of training from the employee's point of view. The first is better career opportunities. With the training, the person becomes fluent in the job. When the person becomes fluent and can do the work with all his heart, with the desired efficiency level, the chances of the promotion increases. The next is higher earning with the minimum wastage. When the person attains the training, he will waste the minimum resources, because of which his earning can increase. The next is reduce probability of accident. With the training, the chances or the percentage of the accident falls down. The next is self-confidence. Because of training, the self-confidence of the employees boost up. Let us see all the benefits in detail. The first is better career opportunities. Training enhances the skill and knowledge of the employees and it enables them to improve their career prospects. The second is higher earnings. By imparting more knowledge and skill to the individuals, training enables them to earn more. The second is reduce probability of accidents. Training attempts to make the employees more adept and efficient in handling machines and thus make them less prone to accidents. The next is self-confidence. With proper training, the employees are able to work more efficiently, thus in turn gives them greater job satisfaction and self-confidence. Let us discuss the methods of the training. Listen, there are two methods. One is on-the-job method and the other one is off-the-job method. Firstly, we will discuss the on-the-job training method. The first is apprenticeship training. The second is induction training. The third one is coaching. Fourth is job training. Fifth is internship training. Now let us see the off-the-job training methods. The first is lectures. Second, films. Third, case studies. Fourth, computer modeling. Fifth, vestibule training. And the sixth, program instructions. Let us discuss all the training. Firstly, see on-the-job training methods. The first is apprenticeship training. The trainees are put under master workers who guide them in acquiring the level of the skill required for the job. These trainings or apprenticeship work under the trainees for the predefined amount of time. In the initial period, they observe the master work performing a task and then gradually do the work themselves under the supervision of the master worker. Apprenticeship training is very common in the mechanical work. The next is induction training. As part of the induction training, the selected employee are made familiar with the working environment of the organization. They are given a brief overview about the workplace and are introduced to their colleagues, seniors, peers and subordinates. Next one is coaching. In this method, the trainees are put under the guidance of a coach or a counselor and they work towards achieving the goal that are set on the basis of a mutual understanding. Typically, coaching aims at training the employees such that he or she can reach a higher position at a work. The next is job training. The trainee is shifted from one department to another or from one job to another. The last one is internship training. Education institutions enter into collaboration with the business corporations and some students are selected to work as interns with the corporation for a specific period. Under the internship training, the theoretical and the practical knowledge will be given at the same time. Let us see off-the-job training method. The first off-the-job training method is lectures. Audio-visual demonstrations or teacher presentations are used to address the trainees in classrooms. The second one is film. Short films or documentaries are shown to the trainee to provide useful information. The next is case study. Case studies that are closely related to real-time problems are presented to the trainee to analyze the cause of the problems. The next is computer modeling. Real life situations are imitated through computer programs so that to help the trainee to learn various situations in a risk-free environment at a minimum cost. The next is vestibule training. Dummy models of real working environments are created in the classroom outside the workplace. The trainee are made to work on the dummy machines and equipments. Let us see the programmed instructions. Information is divided into smaller, meaningful units and arranged in a sequence such that the trainee can answer questions one by one. Let us see the difference. Let us see the difference between training, education and development. First is meaning. Training implies improving the skill and abilities required to perform a specific job, whereas education implies increasing the overall knowledge and understanding of the employees. Development means the process of facilitating the overall growth of the employee. Let us see the scope. Its scope is narrow and related to the development of only the skill related to the specific job. Education, wider scope and relate to the overall development of the employee's level of understanding. When we are talking about the development, it is a wider scope and aims at the overall personality development of the employees. Training is a part of development. Let us see the next point, that is focus. It focuses on the goal of the organization and it focuses on the goal of the individual, and here the focus of the development, overall growth and the career oriented. So here the focus is overall growth and the career oriented. Now let us see the difference between the recruitment and the selection. Meaning, recruitment refers to the process of finding and pursuing suitable candidate to apply for the job vacancies. Selection refers to the process of choosing the right candidate. Let us see the sequence. In the selection process, recruitment is the second stage, staffing is the third stage, and it comes after the recruitment. Let us see the employment contract. The candidate invited to take part in the recruitment process are not offered any employment contract. In the case of the selection, the employment contract is offered when the person is selected. Characteristic. The recruitment process involves persuading many persons as possible to apply for the job, so it is positive. Selection process involves choosing only the appropriate candidate and rejecting the unsuitable candidate, so it is negative in nature. It is positive in nature, it is negative in nature. That's all I have in this video. Thanks for watching. God bless you all.